How's it going, everybody? Kay's Fishing Adventures here, and today is gonna kind of be a two-part day. I was going to do kind of like a haul and a review of some of the new gear that I got from Bass Pro for my birthday the other day. But yeah, the weather decided that it was gonna play with me. The day that I'd made the post that I was going to end up going out fishing to do that, to kind of show you guys all the stuff in action, the weather decided that it was not going to be accurate to what it said the day before. So it ended up only being about 30 degrees yesterday here in Mass, at least the part of Mass that I'm in. So wasn't able to end up doing that. Today it is nice in the mid 40s, just about 50 degrees. So we are going to be going out there today, hopefully trying to get some pickerel and stuff like that. So it's going to be a two-part video today. I'm going to post this one this morning, right after I finish recording it. And then later on in the day, I'm going to record and make sure everything is good and then post the actual fishing video. But I figured since I didn't end up posting the video yesterday when I wanted to, that I would give you guys kind of like a two-part. So this is the first part. Now, turned 27 on the 27th, so I'm getting up there. We're getting old. But for my birthday, I wanted to go to Bass Pro, so that's where we went. And I ended up getting quite a few things, so we'll go ahead and get started looking at that. First and foremost, we got an extra little box here, tackle box for my bag that I have here. This is my tackle bag. It's where I keep everything except for my rods. But yeah, I had to get the Bass Pro Shop tackle box. Nothing in there was purchased at Bass Pro. That's just all of my, assorted tackle. But got the baits that we got right here, and we're gonna get into that. We'll start with soft plastics. Why not? So I picked up 2 bags of Yamamoto Senkos. We've got one full size. I think that's the... I can't see it. I don't know where they put it on these older packaging. But yeah, we got Yamamoto Senkos. And then we have the 4-inch fat Senko. See, it says that there. I think that these are the 8-inch. Yeah, this looks kind of dated on the package. So we've got your full size and your half size. These I got just out of curiosity. I've used the full size Senkos before, but never the 4-inch ones. So I figured, why not give them a try, right? And these I thought were really cool that they had them. Obviously the color I liked. It's watermelon with black flake. But I thought it was cool because it had this older packaging. I know they kind of switched to this packaging, but I really like this packaging. I like the old packaging, and I had never seen them out in the wild before, so I was pretty happy to find that. And then, of course, I got your Zoom Super Fluke. You can't go wrong with those. Bass love them. I've gotten pickerel to bite on them. And the smaller versions, I think those are Berkley, the power bait. Like, they call them minnows, but they look very similar to a fluke. I've had crappie just smack those. They seem to love those on a jig head. So, but these guys, the super flukes, I love to use. This color in particular is white ice. Usually I use, I'll pull it out here so you guys can see it. I use the white chartreuse tail combination. But I wanted to get something a little different. I wanted to get these to put on one of the next baits that I'll be showing you. I'm going to save that for the hard plastic section, or the hard bait section. But yeah, you can't go wrong with the Zoom Super Fluke. This is what it looks like out of the packaging. It's got like kind of that clear flaked plastic up on the top, and then that nice white down on the bottom. So those I think will perform very well. And last but not least, for the soft plastics from Bass Pro, I had to go with the Green Pumpkin Sapphire Rage Tail Craw. These are my favorite craws to use. I've used quite a few others, you know, your regular just creature baits. I've used these little guys here, but overall, the Strike King Rage Tail Craws is hands down my favorite. It's what I catch the biggest bass on, so that's typically why I go with them. But also, I just love the look of them. I mean, they're pretty to me. I'd imagine they've got to be pretty to the fish, right? But yeah, like I said, this is Green Pumpkin with Sapphire Flake. It will stay on my hand to show you guys. So yeah, it's definitely got a nice sparkle in the sun. Unfortunately, the lighting in my room isn't good right now, but that's what it looks like out of the package. And you get, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you get 8 of them in a pack, so pretty standard. They're coffee scented, which I didn't, back when I was first starting out, I had no idea that coffee could be used as a scent to attract fish, but they work really well. I have only ever gotten the coffee scented ones, and biggest bass I caught last season was caught on one of these. That one was just Green Pumpkin. It wasn't like Green Pumpkin Sapphire like this says, but it was Green Pumpkin with the coffee scent. And that bass was a little over 3 pounds. Not quite 3.5, but a little over 3. So that's pretty big for around where I live. There's supposedly monsters in the pond that I fish, but I've yet to catch one myself. I did, however, tell you a story while I get this other stuff ready. I almost caught the biggest pickerel of my life 4 days ago. I was out there, a place called Whitney Pond. It's where I usually fish. I've got a couple of spots that I go to as my main spots, which I plan on trying out more spots this year. I want to go down to like the Wachusett Reservoir, Sudbury Reservoir, places like that. I've heard the Wachusett Reservoir is great for like smallmouth and stuff like that. But yeah, I was throwing just my little pink rooster tail spinner, and this thing, it had to have been at least like 3.5. Like, I mean, it was huge. Like, I mean, it was the length of my forearm, if not longer. And I got it right up to the shore, man. I got it right there, just close enough to see it, and the thing spit the hook and swam off. And I was casting trying to get it back, and yeah, it didn't happen that day. So hopefully maybe today will be the day. Maybe bringing you guys with me will give me some luck. But I'll stop blabbing about that and start going on to the other baits now. So I mentioned before, I wanted to try the different color fluke than I usually go with, and that was because I wanted to see how it looked on this new chatterbait that I got. It's got the chartreuse in white with some flake in there. I think it looks really good. The fish around my area seem to like chartreuse. They, you know, like whether it be like on the tail of the fluke, or I have black and chartreuse maxi tails that they love. So they just seem to like the chartreuse. So I wanted to go with that. And that's the hook there. I got the middle size. There was one larger and one smaller than this, but this was around the same size as my other 2 chatterbaits that I have. One of them is a little bigger, but the other is similar size to this, so I kind of wanted to stick to what I was familiar with. And also, I just don't think that any bigger than this would be required for my area in particular. But yeah, this is the chatterbait. Kind of give you a good look at it there. And I mean, I enjoy throwing the chatterbait. depending on the conditions. I mean, they love to bite at it, so anything they love to bite at, I love to throw. This little guy here is a new bait to me. I have never used one of these before, but I was thinking along the lines of, you know, I'm trying to catch more pickerel this year. More pickerel, maybe like a pike, a northern pike. We have those up here. And I know I've heard that they like spinners, which I would imagine is true, because, you know, 2 days ago when I went fishing, I pulled in 2 little ones, and again, it was on that pink rooster tail spinner, so they seem to like that. But this little guy, I got to give a try. I liked that it only had the one treble hook. I've mentioned before, I think in one of my previous videos, I personally am not a fan of using more than one treble hook. If I'm using a treble hook at all, you'll notice a lot of my baits can be used with like a circle hook, or, you know, your EWG hooks and stuff like that. Just because I feel like not only is it easier on the angler to remove the hook, but it's a lot easier on the fish. I've just, yeah, seen some fish hooked not great with the treble hook. So if I am using a treble hooked bait, I prefer to use one that's got just a single treble hook like that. And it's quite heavy, actually. I think it's gotta be, it doesn't look too big, but I would imagine that's 10, 11 grams, because I mean, it's got some weight in your hand. It did not feel as heavy in the packaging as it did when I took it out. I didn't realize it was that heavy, but it does have good action in the water. I threw it out a couple of times the other day when I was out there, and I didn't have it out long enough to really get any bites or anything, but I just wanted to check the action on it. And it does look really good. Like this little spoon here, it flutters nice in the water. And forgive me, guys, I don't have the names of most of these baits, because I slowly threw away the packaging without thinking. I'm kind of new to the whole YouTube thing, so I kind of slipped my mind, but next time I will make sure that I have the packaging so that I can give you guys the actual names and brands of the bait. Obviously with the soft plastics, I have that packaging, but yeah, next time I will do better, so on me, but we'll get there. Oh, and also, speaking of soft plastics, I forgot one. I also got these little curly-tailed grubs here. These are for the crappie, yellow perch, whatever will bite them, really, honestly. Yeah, and they're like a dark blue with some light blue silver flake there in the main part, if you can see it. And then we've got red flake, dark red flake with like a light red curly tail there. And I have not been able to see those in the water yet, but I'm hoping that they look good. They looked like they were gonna look good. Now this is a bait that I can tell you the name of, because I love this bait. I'm very familiar with it. I think a lot of you probably will be too, because you can never go wrong with it. And that is the Strike King Red Eye Shad. I love these baits. I really do. I think they look great in the water, and I think the fish love them. I do have this bait actually in a different color as well. I'll kind of pull it out to compare for you guys. I got this one just to try, because like I said, they like the chartreuse, they like the white, they seem to like the silver. Those are the colors that I have the most luck with typically in my area. So I wanted to give this a try because it's got that chartreuse-like line on the side of it. And of course, that big red eye. This I did not get yesterday. This I already had, but this is my other red eye shad. This is an old red eye shad. I've had this for quite some time. As you can see, the paint on the side of it has worn down over time. But yeah, I believe this is craw, is what they call this color. Some type of craw. It's supposed to look like a crawfish. But yeah, I wanted to try, and I got this one a little smaller. because that one I noticed it's not gonna get bit as much as this will, I think, just because, like I said, the fish in the pond I fish, they're not huge, right? So, I mean, unless a bass is kind of feeling big for its britches, they don't really seem to sniff at that one. I have gotten some bites on it, just not at the pond that I fish most of the time. So that's why I decided we'd go a little smaller and we'd try a different color. It's got a little bit of orange on the belly there. I mean, it's just a beautiful looking bait. It's gorgeous, I think. Ooh, got that little black spot right there with the chartreuse line. We have the scaling right there. And of course, like I said, that big red eye. So that's the the red eye shad. I'm a big fan of those. Now the next two baits I'm gonna do together. I'll show you them one at a time, but they are pretty much the same bait. They're the same brand, same idea, just a different size and coloration. And I believe that this would be considered a blade bait. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I'm not very familiar with them. I've never used them before, but I heard through watching some videos from other creators. Shout out to Kicking Their Bass TV and Fletcher the Fisherman. They're really who kind of inspired me to start making videos and stuff, as well as Old Lady Angler. Those are 3 channels that I would definitely recommend checking out. Obviously no sponsorship or nothing. They don't even know I exist, but yeah, they're definitely the 3 channels that got me, that, gave me the idea to start making videos myself. But yeah, I did see these in one of Kicking Their Bass TV's videos. And I believe they referred to it as a blade bait. Not this bait in particular, but the same style. And this one here has got like some nice green along the top. I don't know if you can see that. It's almost like accented with that dark green. And then we've got your yellow and your red. And what I like about this is that it's very slim, except for what would be like the head of the fish. That is like stuck out. So when it's swimming in the water, see what I mean? It's got like, it looks really cool, I think, from front on. And I mean, the detail is awesome. I don't know if you guys can see that really well, but I mean, super detailed. It's actually grooved, the metal is, so that's not just like painted on scales, it's actually grooved. This part is completely smooth, but the fish head itself is, yeah, very detailed. I think they look great. I mean, those little eyes, like, geez, they look so realistic, it's crazy. And then I would refer to this guy as that one's big brother, almost. This is in yellow perch color. And the reason that I wanted to try this is because we have a lot of yellow perch in the pond that I fish. It is definitely a fish that is preyed upon in that pond. It's one of the few bait fish besides like bluegill that's in that pond. I've never seen any other bait fish. Like you've got your crawfish and stuff, but I've never seen any like shiners swimming around or anything like that. I'm sure that they're out there, but I think they're kind of few and far between at Whitney Pond. So I figured this might be good for bass or pickerel, honestly. I think they both eat the perch down there. So, and this one, I mean, is just crazy. Like, I don't know if you can see that, but that's just crazy to me, the detail on that. And it's the same thing as the other one. It is actually grooved on the sides of the fish head, so this part is completely smooth and flat. But when you look at it straight on like that, it's got like those little eyes and stuff, and the grooving of the scales. So I think this one is really cool. I really like it. You guys will have to tell me in the comments if you have used any of these baits personally, and how they worked for you. because I'm definitely interested in hearing about it. Really, any stories. You guys have fishing stories? You have lure recommendations, rod recommendations, any recommendations, or anything that you'd like to see me review or check out, whatever it may be, please drop it in the comments. I am totally open to recommendations, and I love checking out new stuff when it comes to fishing. So, definitely drop it down. And now the last thing that I got from Bass Pro Shop, I did also get a net and a rod, which I will show the rod in a minute here, but I'm gonna kind of save really looking at it for the video later today, because I really want to show you guys it in action. Obviously I can't cast it in my bedroom, but I will give you like a little bit of a close-up of the reel and stuff like that. But I did get a net. That's not here. That's in the car, so I can't show you that right now, unfortunately. But the last thing that I did get from Bass Pro is this scale here. Now, this is a Bass Pro Shop branded scale, so this is their brand. As you can see, it's got their logo on it. And it came with two pieces. It came with the lip grip. You kind of just push open like that, and then you kind of can close it and lock it. And it also has this hook here. I personally do not like using these hooks. The original scale that I had, I'll actually show it to you, was kind of just like a cheap Walmart scale that barely even works. But I never ended up using it because it has this. And I know that, you know, you can kind of slip that under their gill plate and you can weigh them, but I've just personally never been a fan of doing that. I feel like they breathe from there, so it probably isn't very comfortable for them, especially with a hook like that. I mean, this one is at least like dull, but this is sharp. Like that you could probably throw that on a line to catch like a big fish. So I personally don't use that. That's why I went with this, because it came with the lip grip to actually throw them on there with. So this was definitely a good purchase. This was, I think, $24, and it's a digital scale. So you turn it on there, let it zero out, and then you can kind of see I pull on it, and it gives you the weight. And then once it stops and it gets a read on the weight, it will like record it. I'm trying to get it to do it for you, but it's not working for me. Let's see. There we go. So yeah, you'll see it'll pause for you once you get it, you know, they're actually on there, and it actually records the weight for you. I'm not sure if it actually like saves it somewhere. I'll be honest with you, I haven't figured it out that far yet. But I think it's super cool. I think it is perfect for, you know, you're just out there on the water, but you get a decent fish and you want to throw it on the scale. It's not too big, fits in the top of my tackle box with all of my my actual little boxes in there. I call my bag my tackle box just because it's where I keep everything, but the boxes themselves stack in the bag. So it fits in there. It's got a comfortable grip, at least for me. I have kind of small hands, but also it's kind of easy too. I think you've got the screen like that. You can kind of just take a peek at it, open it up, and yeah, send the fish on their way. Unless you're gonna eat the fish, in which case you put it in your cooler or wherever it is you want to put it. Now that we're getting to the end of this video, I have two things. First and foremost, I promised I'd give a little peek at the rod, so we're gonna do that. This is the Lew's American Hero bait casting combo in camo. It is my first ever bait caster, and I will say there was a bit of user error the first time I used it. Bird's nest galore. But I was able to figure it out, and it was totally user error. Once you get it dialed in, this reel is like great. It has officially made me love bait casters. I was always a spinning reel kind of gal, but this guy has definitely turned me on to bait casters, and I just think it's real slick looking. Oh, didn't even realize this. I thought I was missing something from my haul. I knew I had one other lure. On the back of this here, we have my little spinner that I got, which I put one of the curly tail grubs on the back of, because it's a bit of a smaller spinner, but I wanted a trailer, so that's what we went with. But now that that is gotten through, that was kind of the Bass Pro haul, everything we got there. Later on, we have the fishing video. I'll actually show you guys this stuff in the water, show you how it looks and all of that fun stuff. But I wanted to talk about another upcoming video that we have, which is going to be another Temu review, another fishing lure review, I should say. I have a bunch more stuff coming from them. Should be here within the next 2 weeks or so. Sometime their shipping is kind of slow, so you know, when it comes from SpeedX, usually when it goes to the post office it's pretty quick, but SpeedX is kind of, they take their time with their delivery. So as soon as that comes in, I'm gonna do like an unboxing review. I'm gonna open it all on camera with you guys, and we're gonna talk about it and go through it. But while I had you here, I did want to, on the topic of Temu, talk about a couple of things. I reviewed this bait here in my first ever video, my Temu review, and I had mentioned when I was doing that review that I had not had a chance to actually really see this bait in the water. I had done like a bathtub test, but I wasn't able to see it actually in the water. And since then, that has changed. I have been able to use it and throw it out there. And I have to say, I went and bought 2 more. So now I'm going to have 3. I bought 2 different colors than this one. This thing was just, I mean, it was great. The action, phenomenal. I mean, it chops, it glides, it looks great. I was dang near speechless because these baits, they can go for decent money. And this thing cost me like $3 to $5. I forget exactly how much it was, but it was right in that range. And it looked great. Like, honestly, the 20 stars for this. If you want a bait like this and you don't want to break the bank, I would highly recommend purchasing this bait. What I'll do is I will leave the link to this bait in particular down in the description below. So if you do want to pick this bait up, you can. You can get it right from Temu. As long as it lets me do that. I think they should let me do that, but we'll see. As long as it lets me do it, I will drop it down in the link in the description below. Obviously not sponsored by Temu or anything like that. Just really a big fan of this bait. And yeah, I would love for you guys to be able to try it if you're interested in trying it. Because it looked great in the water. I was genuinely, like, after the bathtub test, I thought it would, like, be okay. It would be, you know, but it looked great. Furthermore, on the topic of Temu as well, I do have a couple of baits that did already come in that I kind of wanted to talk about real quick before I let you guys go. And that is this Magic Bait, America's favorite catfish bait, non-refrigerated prepared dough. We have chicken liver and chicken blood, which I'm sure smells great. And then we have minnow and cheese. This stuff had really good reviews. So today, when we go out, I'm not sure if the catfish will be out poking around. We're going to try. We're going to take our ugly stick spinning reel and rod, and we're going to toss one of these out, and we're kind of going to do like a little bait and wait while we well, we do some kind of faster fishing with the bait caster. My thought was that might be fun. So yeah, and I got these on Temu. I mean, they sell this stuff in Bass Pro too. It's actually, you know, it's not like some off-brand, you know, Temu bait. It actually, you know, I saw it in Bass Pro when I was in there the other day. Now it is a little cheaper on Temu than it is at Bass Pro. But the reason I wanted to bring that up and mention it, as well as these guys here, which we'll talk about probably in a different video, I will say, first time I've ever been slightly disappointed with a lure from Temu, but I'm hoping that once I use them, they work better than I think they're going to. These just didn't look exactly like they did in the picture. But anyway, if you look on Temu for fishing stuff and whatnot, you can click on the seller. So a lot of items on Temu, they're not like sold directly by Temu. You have like shops and different sellers and whatnot. And when you're looking specifically at fishing equipment, you can find, you know, these sellers, and this came from, I believe, JT's Tackle Shop on Temu. And, you know, he had a bunch of, you know, I mean, he has some name brand line and whatnot, and just, yeah, some different name brand baits, which for the most part, when you're just scrolling on Temu, they're not name brand. They kind of come in like this weird packaging that's not really, you get what I'm saying. But, yeah, this was actually, you know, I mean, he had actual stuff. So I would imagine that he runs his own tackle shop and just sells stuff on Temu. But that was a little fun fact that I learned that I figured I would share with you guys. So if you're ever in the market for anything like this, you can indeed find it on Temu. And this bag here is 7 ounces each bag. So, I mean, I feel like that's a decent amount. I think this will last me a good bit of time, and it doesn't need to be refrigerated, so it can just chill in your tackle box. I would recommend not leaving your tackle box in the car, or somewhere where it's going to get really hot, because it does look like these would melt. So if you do have these in your tackle box, like I said, yeah, I wouldn't recommend leaving it in the car. Maybe if you leave your tackle box in the car, just kind of keep this inside. But it's fine at room temperature. I just think it, in more hotter climate, it definitely is probably liable to melt. Just because, yeah, the minnow and cheese one looks like it might have melted a little bit in the mail, but, yeah. So I think that's everything for this portion of the videos today. Kept you guys for, geez, 32 minutes. So yeah, thank you to anybody who watched this video all the way through. If you did watch the video all the way through, go ahead and leave me a comment letting me know, and I will like it, respond, all of that fun stuff. I greatly appreciate every single one of my subscribers, the people who watch my shorts, and you know, all of that stuff. I do this for fun and just to kind of, yeah, I don't know, I guess connect with people and maybe show them that girls can fish too. So I look forward to getting out there on the water with you guys later today and finally starting to get into the fun stuff is what I would call it. So yeah, thank you guys very much, especially if you watched the video all the way to the end, and I will see you guys later today. Bye.